Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a friend. Welcome to our kitchen. We got the cheesecake going. We got the coffee going. Coffee's going pretty good right now. What do we got going on? Thank you for being waiting on Paul. Paul may join us. Going. We got the coffee going. Was that me?
Oh. No, it's me. Sorry.
First day. All right. So I don't know. Paul may be joining us soon. Hope everybody can see and hear us and enjoy. So we've got Comic Man Andy, Comic Corpse. That's a good one. Chris Barrett, how are you? We've got McDaddy Austin 109, and I'm going to really bad at the chat, so I'm going to take my glass off and DS what's going on. All right, so I screwed up on my on that comic link. I'm not really that worried about it. Remember that 3.0 Space Detective 3 I really wanted?
Yeah.
Went for 151. I thought it was ending on. I thought they didn't do them on Friday, and I totally didn't spaced out completely. And I saw it go for 151.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. That was cheap. And I'm like, you were looking at that.
I was freaking out.
Happens to the best of us.
That was so upset me because that was one, and there was a Jungle Book in there I wanted. Again, fell below the price I would have paid. I mean, it's 100. It's in my world. It's not like DS's where, my world the book is like $100 and it sells for $60. That's a really good deal. $40, but it's a really good deal for that book. I mean, if it sells for $200, that's a little something. And you have to know what you're doing on the Fiction House and everything else like that. And most of us, you never know. Something gets considered rare, pretty common now. But I messed up on those two. I did it. So we're going to talk about cons and auctions and savings, and we're going to talk about two things definitely for sure tonight. We're going to talk about, like we said, prepping for a con. Whether it be Golden Age or Silver Age, we're going to talk about prepping for con from our point of view. What do we prep when we go to a con? What are we prepping for? How much preparation do we go in? What do you do leading up to it? And then we have a really spicy topic here. Let's call it nano trimming. Is that what
nano trimming.
We call it nano trimming or micro trimming. They're calling that. There's a little bit of a scandal going on.
Yeah, I feel like I stirred the pot pretty good on that one.
Yeah, we'll definitely have some good conversations on that tonight, as well as some new pickups, and a huge congrats to Mr. DS Comics himself for a major key, which he's going to show in a little bit, which is really good. And Mike, I don't know if you picked up anything. I did not pick up anything Golden Age this week or anything really. I did, but it's not here yet because I didn't bother Rick. I'm like, well, Rick's like he's mailing it whenever I don't know when he mails it. Oh, that's a good one. $2. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I have some.
I
actually have been reading. I have been reading Marvel Tales number 2.
Those would be nice.
The reason I'm reading it is because obviously I can't grab an X-Men 1 and start opening it up.
Yeah,
but I get the exact same story.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm not reading, but here's an X-Men. If this is my favorite run of X-Men. Is pretty much right now the Powers of X, Powers of 10, House of X.
I read a lot of those books for the first time from those Marvel Tales.
Yeah, these are good. Yeah, and and everybody's like, "Oh, they're worth some money." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're not worth as much as the other ones." And I love the artwork and I love the smell, but I love the artwork, the dead rotting paper smell. But there's a really cool in there. The origin of Doctor Strange is in here, and it's so Ditko. It's probably my favorite Ditko drawing of Doctor Strange. How did anybody get this right? There you go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Look at that splash page.
You can tell that Ditko from like a mile away too.
Yeah. He's such a. I mean, the origin of Doctor Strange. First of all, he was Asian, and then he kind of in the first one in the other one. Oh, I just did up Inktober, by the way. It's Inktober, so I just put this up. I didn't organize it yet. So. But yeah, the origin of Doctor Strange is in here, so you get that. If you want to try to read that book, that is Strange Tales 115, which is the second appearance of Sandman, which is a great cover with Sandman. Actually, it's the best Sandman cover, if you ask me, because his appearance. I'm not knocking ASM4.
Adventure 40 is the best Sandman cover.
What?
Adventure Comics 40 is the best Sandman cover.
Adventure Odyssey. See, I like the one with the hands coming out and he's going down in front of Human Torch. That's a good one. But that's and that got to be a real expensive book recently. It used to be $75 for a 5.5, and now it's like you're talking a couple of hundred now, and that's really rapidly for really a second appearance of Sandman, origin of Doctor Strange. Like I said, the story of the first origin, because this is 1965. This is done, so it's not like we have the later versions or anything.
This one's better.
Yeah, the DC one.
If you want,
no, that's a Sandman.
Yeah, man.
I've probably lost like.
I've never
auctions on an ASM4 in the last couple of years. I've never owned an ASM4. You know, I just want to get it and read it. I dig it, and I'll sell it, obviously. But man, I have been trying to pick up a copy of that in auctions. I don't want to just buy one. There's some books I'll just buy if I see it, but there's some books I want to win in an auction. Like I want to get a good price in an auction. And I've probably lost 15 to 20 auctions on ASM4 in the last couple of years.
It's a tough one to find. I mean, because honest to God, if you think about it, the panel, it's a quad panel, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, it's one of those that it reminds me of the older books.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what that's one of the things about ASM4. But that's not one of the topics we.
It looks like Atlas PCH with the panels on the cover. There's a lot of those Atlas books like that.
Nice. And then we have
not on topic. I wanted to thank the guys for doing the Modern Girls show or whatever they called it.
Modern Ladies. What did they call it?
Oh, Monday, yesterday.
Oh yeah, the Vagina Monologues.
Last week for this place.
Oh yeah.
Modern
Girls, right?
The Vagina Monologues. Yeah.
I enjoyed it though. I can't
remember
anything they were talking about though.
Yeah.
I guess I don't retain modern comic info.
Yeah, I don't either.
Look at this Kirby drawing. Look at this Kirby in here. It's so nice. Avengers 1 panels. Look at this. Love this stuff. Originally presented in X-Men #1. So, do you want to do show and tell first, or do you want to do? We'll also have the Great Knights of Old has found first week of October. We're gonna do what's on your pull list for the first week of October between the years of April. Well, obviously 1938 to 1956. We're gonna do the first half right now.
Well, I'm gonna do it a little differently this time. What I did was I broke up all the years and then looked at how many weeks are in October. So I decided to just do the first few years today, and then like next week we'll do like 1943 through 45 or something. Maybe I'll change it up again, but I didn't have much time, so we'll try that maybe this month.
Very nice. Sounds like fun. Very cool. But we do have something tonight to share, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We got good stuff. All right. So what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about first? How's everybody? Do
you want to show your key, DS?
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let me. You go do that. I'm going to put you on the big screen. Here we go.
Yeah. So it's anybody who sees my image or my icon or whatever you call that thing, the picture that you use to identify yourself, Instagram and YouTube, I use this, and it's a horrific one. And this is one of my absolute favorite pre-code horror books. I've been into pre-code horror for 4 or 5 years, something like that. And I've gotten more into it over those years. Initially, I was still doing a little bit of everything, but right off the bat, this was a book that I absolutely loved. Took me a couple of years, and I finally found a really low-grade copy, which I got graded, and it was a 1.8 with slightly brittle pages. And I held on to that for a while because, I knew it wasn't a keeper copy for me. And so, but I didn't want to be without it, entirely without this book. And it's a really tough book to find. This one doesn't come up too often, and usually auction format, you may or may not win it. So, I decided it's not a keeper, so why am I keeping it? So I just cut it loose, and then I was without this book. I cut that loose earlier this year. And then, I'm just like, all right, I will start a new search for this book, and hopefully I'll get one someday, and, eventually probably will come across one. And then, lo and behold, this year, just recently, last week, I come across this one and worked out a deal with the seller and got a really nice, upgrade from the one I sold, which was a 1/8 slightly brittle. This is a 3.5 off-white to white. A pretty nice copy here. This is good enough for me. This is a tough book to find. It's probably, 12 on the census or something. There's not a lot of them out there.
Who's the artist?
Well, I think it's A.C. Hollingsworth, but it doesn't say. Don Heck did most of the covers later in this title, but the first two are not credited to him or credited to anybody. But I think it's A.C. Hollingsworth, but I'm not sure. So,
and is he conducting, or is he playing a violin, or does he have like a sword?
He is conducting the orchestra, and she is dancing for them. And it's orchestra. So it's just, this has the same kind of mix of horror and class, and that Chamber of Chills 19 does, I think. It's very similar to my mind in theme. It's very horrifying and very creepy and dark, but still with like a sophisticated charm to it. It's not just full on horror. There's a charm to this that's like a Chamber 19 sort of feel to it. I don't know. It's just super cool, and the colors and everything. And it's hard to see on the video, but the orange letters are outlined in purple.
Yep.
And then there's this drab green, and of course the guy with the blue coat and the orange fire, and of course red dress, blonde hair for the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? And then the Death Orchestra.
Yep.
So yeah, just a killer book. I absolutely love it, and it's a pretty clean copy. I mean, it's nice. So this is one of my PCH Grails. And this is a keeper copy. I don't need a high grade of anything, and especially this. I want a good, complete, attached copy with no chunks missing and no resto, and this fits the bill. So,
what's the publisher?
Comic Media.
Yeah,
Comic Media, 1952. So one of the smaller ones. Issue 3 in this one is the
Don Heck,
and that's the big one that everybody loves. But this is far better to me. This is the best one in the title for me. So really,
there are other symphonic or orchestral pre-code horror. There's a few of them. I did not track them all down, but I know there is a bunch out there. I know there's like a handful of mine maybe there. Is it a kind of something, a little shtick you might be interested in, or I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a. I don't know if anybody specifically collects that type of genre, but there's a Worlds of Fear that has a skeleton conducting on the stage with a skeleton symphony in the gallery.
From Seinfeld would collect that shit.
Yeah.
I love that show.
9.8
episode. Maestro's a great episode.
What did it say on the back cover? Save something?
It's an antibacterial thing. It's on the back of a few different ones. Kill these germs, save your hair.
There you go.
So it's like some type of shampoo, I guess.
Yeah.
And what year is this?
1952.
Huh.
And this one you can tell it hasn't been cleaned. It may or may not have been pressed. It's pretty tight in this case, so it's hard to tell if it's been pressed. But I'm not going to crack it out. But it definitely could use a cleaning. But I don't think the grade would go up anyway, just looking at the wear on it. But I mean, it's a clean, nice copy and bright colors, no chunks missing. So I love it.
Yeah, I gotta say it presents really great.
Cool book.
I absolutely love how that
like the fire on the bottom.
Love the fire. I was gonna say the fire contrasting on that suit. You just can't deny that. If you're a pre-code horror fan, this is the triple crown of a book that is popular. It's harder to find than it is popular. That's a good way to put it, in my opinion. It's harder to find a horrific 1 than it is a horrific 3. Horrific 3, though, is twice as popular than a horrific 1 because that's something everybody else wants. Meanwhile, I think the better cover is the horrific 1, and it is the harder one to find. So I think GS wins hands down.
I'll tell you, I
And
think
the Don Heck
hardcore pre-code horror fans, when they see this, they appreciate how hard it is to get and how cool it is. Other people see it, yeah, it's a cool book. Wow, that's cool. Horrific 3, everybody know, look at that's a huge grail. But if you're really into PCH and you see this, you know this is a real gem. It's tough to find in its quality, and this is, you know, it's not grail level to the untrained eye, sort of. But people who are in PCH appreciate what this is. So I'm really am glad I got this copy.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that you say, you know, if you pull out your collection, everybody sees what you got, and like you know, you're sharing out there. But when somebody sees you got a horrific one, they know it's all about chops at that point. You know, it's all about chops. You know, that's good stuff. It's like playing well. So congrats to DS Comics on getting his girl. I have a big Bronze Age book coming in a trade I did with the moderns. If you do it, you do it. I traded away a few things, upgraded, sold a few. Anyway, what are we up to? Next thing. Yep, that's the Don Heck cover. That's the Don Heck cover. So, Boyer at 7, how are you? Good seeing you in here. Chris Barrett, hello, Newman.
Yeah, that's number 3 there, and that is
Tech 31.
I can see why that one is a big PCH grail, but for me, this is just my personal opinion. It doesn't have the mystery to it. It's just in your face. There's a headshot with a bullet hole in it. It's like there's not enough to it. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just too.
It's shock value without anything gravy on top. It's just shock. That's it. It's not great. It's just shock right away.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it would be a good sticker, but I mean, to have that be a piece of art that I want to display, there's not enough to it. It's too.
Or a logo for a bar or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool, but I mean, it's too.
Not even red blood on that. It could be like a bug splattered.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, it goes for a lot, though. I mean, that thing would blow this out of the price.
That and that 22. What is that? The what's it when the head's turned upside down? Something. Same. Horrific. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, really, at number 3 is where Don Heck took over, which is the bullet hole. From there out, the rest of the title is just headshots, and I'm not big on any of them.
No.
But people, there's a vampire one.
Yep.
It's all right. I mean, see what I mean? It's just a headshot.
Vampire?
They're just headshots for the rest of the title, though, and it doesn't do anything for me. But you know, just subjective, of course.
Yeah. Yep. Same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, it looks just like it.
So let's see. So the horrific.
That one's kind of cool, I have to say.
That's all right.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Nothing I would spend a lot of money on, though.
Yeah, they're all cool, and when you
spend a lot of money on a lot of stupid things,
you can't just buy everything.
I mean, this came up,
for me to buy.
This came up in the same search, and this is way cooler.
Yeah,
that is cool. Yeah,
that's crazy.
On my list, I've never owned a copy of that.
What is that?
Weird Mysteries 5.
Who did that's not? Is that Don Heck? No.
No, that's a Bernard Bailey cover.
Yeah, Bernard Bailey. That's who it is.
I've got number 4, which is the skull with the ant crawling out of it, and the
oh, that's cool.
That's number 4, and the one he's shown is number 5, which is pretty high on my list, but I've never owned a copy of that yet.
Nice. Good stuff.
I can jump right into the books in case I have to go early, if that's all right.
Yeah, and what was first, War Fury 1 or?
Oh yeah, War Fury 1. I think it's War Fury 1. Yeah.
So technically, if you really think about it, Horrific 3. Thank you, Lewis. Horrific 3 is a reprint of that cover.
Yeah, I mean they're both on Heck covers, and back then, without any digital media or recording,
it's the same head.
You know,
oh, yeah.
did that too. They would take
yeah.
They would take.
Look at the bottom right there and see if you can
incorporate it, and it sort of saved time because these guys were busy, and it saved time to reuse that art on a
Yeah,
cover.
let's just show. Yeah, we showed a horrific 3.
How do you not get the glare? You were doing this really nicely.
Well, because you have your brightness on your phone's too high.
Yeah.
You got to turn your phone brightness down, and then it will show up better.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the same thing. You know, if you tilt your head, that's the same as horrific 3, and this is first.
I think so. I'm not 100% because I've never owned or sought to own either of those, but I like the War Fury better. But that War Fury is cheap. I think you can get like a 3.5 of that for, you know, a few $100, and I think that 3.5 of the horrific 3 is probably like $2,500 or $3,000. So it's like 10 times more expensive than the War Fury, and I like the War Fury better.
Agreed. We agree. So not only this, horrific 1 is better than horrific 3. War Fury 1 is better than horrific 3.
I think horrific 2.
Just our opinions.
Horrific 2 is a cover swipe of a Bomber Comics issue from the 40s with marionettes, you know, holding puppet strings controlling the corpses or the skeleton. Horrific 2 is a cover swipe of that, and that one's pretty tough to find. But it doesn't seem like anybody ever wants it. I see it here and there, and it's listed for a cheap price, and nobody ever buys it. And it's like nobody wants that book, and I don't know why. I'll buy it at some point, and nobody else wants it. It's cool as hell.
You get a nice little marionette thing going on with the suspense.
Yeah,
you get a little. Yeah, I'm always looking for shticks. You know, someone's got to have something worse than elephants out there. I got to find that guy. You think elephants are bad? This guy over here, he collects nothing but, you know, choke women.
There's a really cool, my favorite marionette cover is on a pulp, and it's a pulp called Strange Tales. No relation to the comic, obviously, but there's a Strange Tales pulp issue that has a marionette scene on the cover, and that is the best marionette scene that I've ever seen on a comic / pulp type cover. I really like that one. I can't remember what's the name of it. It's Strange Tales. I don't know what issue it is or anything, but there was one on eBay.
How are you? Oh, and Tech 31, I apologize. I did not bid on that Jumbo 1. I'm kind of saving money for Baltimore, and I picked up a Bronze Age Grail. But I did see there's another one out there right now I just saw. So, guy wants to find someone.
Now, this is a reprint of it, but this is what the cover looks like.
Well, that's pretty sick. Well, hang on. I'm putting that on the big screen.
Looks like a midget skeleton.
Hey, now. Look at that. Nice cufflinks, by the way.
So that's just a really cool way to do that.
Yeah.
The rich colors of pulps are so awesome.
Yeah. Strange Tales is a really cool pulp, and they're tougher to find, but they're all of this quality, the Strange Tales pulps.
So many people are getting into pulps now. I tell you, it's heating up.
It is heating up.
We were talking about it on the boards. Once Rick, got to bring him back. Once I saw Rick was selling some pulps and buying pulps, and I saw this guy selling them. Look at that one. Everybody's getting into pulps, saying, "What are we doing here?" We're talking, you know, are we finding the next Frazetta in there?
This kind of has like a
I love the 70s ones. Yeah. They're all 75, right? 1975.
Justco, I think. Justco.
Yeah, is that 1975?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. That about right? 75, 77?
No, 82 actually.
Oh wow, that's late.
It's a weird one. It has it reprints his first couple books. His first
57, 58.
It's a black and white, and the pages aren't. It has like some panels, some pages. I don't know. When I was a kid, I had that.
Hey, so Tech 31 Kid is saying went for 1440. Is that the Jumbo 1 he's talking about?
Yeah.
What was the issue with the Jumbo 1 that it only went for 1440?
Let me get the
ordered incomplete or something?
I don't have my heritage on this computer.
Because I mean, even like a 2.0 blue would be way more than that.
Did they grade it?
No, it
graded if it was on Comic Link or Comic Connect. I mean, none of these places are selling a Jumbo 1 if it's not in a slab. You know that. Brittle, okay.
But I thought they don't slab those. because
They
Oh,
can't-
the Jumbo one because of the size.
You can't slab those.
1 and 2, I think.
It looked, yeah, it was brittle. It was brittle. It might have. It had a like I think a. They said a good minus. You know.
I really think they should, CGC or any grading company should put a square on the back of the label, like a rectangle that symbolizes the comic book interior, and have colored, have like a grid on it, and
Like the owl.
quadrants where, from dark brown to lighter brown, so you can see where the brittleness is. Because if you just say brittle, not the whole thing is brittle. It might only be the upper right corner of the pages is brittle. It might be the whole left side by the spine. And if they would put like a
Right,
6 or 8 square grid on the back and just put colors in those squares with the darker or lighter brown, depending on, as it got darker, it would be more brittle. And you could see where on the book this is brittle. It would really help to market some of these books, because slightly brittle and brittle there's pieces that are brittle, but I mean, they work from the outside. Like when you see off-white to white, that means the edges are off-white, and as you work into the interior, it becomes white. But that's cool, off-white to white, we get it. We know the edges are a little tanned, but when you say slightly brittle or brittle, you have no idea now how much it is. It really is an effect on value, and I stay away from anything that says brittle, but if it only had a brittle corner and the rest was fine, the more people would jump in on those, I think.
If it's brittle and slabbed, I'd be more inclined to buy it than a brittled and something that can never be slabbed.
Yeah, that's true. If you can't, I mean,
you can't do when you get a jumbo one. I mean, I see them. I've seen it at like I said, I've seen it a couple of times. And for those of you that don't know, jumbo one not only is it the first of its series, blah blah blah, everything else. First Jack Kirby, hands down. A bunch of amongst others,
Sheena, right?
Yep. First Sheena, but it's the jumbo one, but it's the first Jack Kirby work ever. So, just throwing it.
They just don't ever seem to go for as much as you think they should, based on the historical value.
Yeah, I've always said that first appearance, first artists to me are much. I don't know. I'm one of those people. I find some people that don't care, but I notice there are some people like you, Knights, that like I collect early first appearance. Oh, I have the first Steve Jim Steranko and first Steve Ditko and first, John Buscema, obviously, and Drink.
Oh, I'll show you something you'll appreciate then, JD. I just bought this today. I don't have it yet, but I'll give you a preview of it.
Sure.
And it is the first professional work by Bernie Wrightson.
Yep, I got one. 179.
Nice.
Yeah, and I bought a 9.2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Much better grade than I got.
Yeah, so here's the deal. I bought this on eBay, so I mean anybody can go look up, see how much I paid for it, whatever. That's fine. I'm not going to say, but if you want to look it up, you can. But I buy a lot of stuff on eBay, and I bought a lot of stuff over the last quarter, and I timed a lot of my buys for the bigger stuff to the promotions that were going on. 10% eBay bucks, 10%.
Yeah.
So I got a ton of those on all the big stuff I bought this last quarter. So I ended up maxing out the eBay bucks at $500. I got 500 eBay bucks coming to me.
Nice.
So that's like a crazy amount of eBay bucks. I didn't spend 50 grand on eBay, but I mean, I got 10% all the time. And yeah, so I got 500 eBay bucks.
I'm a big fan of that book. It's a huge one. See, mine. It's.
Did you do the cover?
It had better days.
No, but it's a Neil Adams cover.
It's a Neil Adams cover.
Cover is nice.
The interior is Bernie. Mine has tape on it.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough book to find.
Again, I've had that for a long time. I'm trying to think. Slabbing. I probably wasn't even using Mylar back then. I mean, seriously, that's why I was thinking. I was talking to somebody like, "Well, these books, how long have they been in my Mylar?" I'm like, probably since 2010. I'm like, why? So I didn't put them in Mylar. I buy Mylar. I didn't realize the value of it until I said, half these things weren't even in bags, or they were back-to-back bags. I buy the big bags, right? And you put one board and two book on each side and stack them in. Totally defeat the purpose.
Well, and I was collecting in the 80s when I was younger, and then the late 80s, early 90s when I was like a teenager. and maybe Mylar was around, but me and my friends, none of us had Mylar. I wasn't really aware of it, and I don't even think it was used then. But now it's like all the rage, and I freaking hate Mylar, and everybody's using it. Everybody loves it, and I'm not going to rehash all the reasons I hate Mylar, but man, Mylar's come along. It would have been good to invest in Mylar back in the 80s and 90s. You'd be a millionaire.
Gerber Foods, the baby food company.
Yeah.
No, that's who made it.
No, it is. That's the same Gerber?
It's them.
Oh, okay.
That's why there was a major lawsuit. That's why they were so hard to find, because there was a lawsuit with the kids of the Gerber after the father died, and the company went on a full hiatus.
Oh, wow.
And it was and that's what caused the Mylar shortage, or the Mylites shortage.
And does it have anything to do with the Gerber of the photojournals?
Maybe that's a. I know that there's a certain something that the Gerber is not a baby food company. It's a chemical company, to be honest with you. They just figured out ways to do things. So they made baby food easy. They made, whatever, ways to preserve things, Mylar. That's how they didn't probably design Mylar. They were trying to make something else, and Mylar is what they ended up making.
Well, I'll tell you, when you got a beat up Golden Age book that's tattered edges and got some slanted tears and whatnot, and your Mylar catches one of those and progresses the tear further, you can take a freaking razor.
Yep.
That's
dangerous.
It's
dangerous. I don't like. You're right, because
I don't like sharp edges next to them. I don't put razors or scissors or sharp
if you want to shine
next to my Golden Age.
These are the same glossiness, okay, but they aren't sharp. These aren't sharp. These for Golden Age.
You know how awesome it is to have a brown page?
But like this book here, I have to keep this in a poly. I mean, it's a good shape, and I don't want it there, but it's
what's wrong with poly? Everybody poly's like crap. Like what's the poly?
No, it's fine.
Who cares? Why is everybody
replace them all the time?
Yeah, so what? You could replace them 3 times as much and still save money over the cost of Mylars.
I hate bagging and boarding,
but they're shiny.
And they're shiny. Right?
Looks amazing.
They do look amazing. It's another reason I don't like them, because then when you go to buy something that's on a wall and it's in Mylar, it looks like a 9.8, and then when you take it out, it's a 6.5.
It is a little funny when I'm putting a book in a Mylar, and I'm like, I think the Mylar is worth more than this book.
I'll tell you, when I get books from eBay,
the dollar bin, buy the ones in the Mylar and the dialer bin, because that's that. But I like these.
If anybody ever wants to get free Mylars, everything I get in the mail that comes in a Mylar, I throw the Mylars in the garbage.
This is a new thing. If you want that shiny look, I'm trying it out. It's okay.
It sounds
Mylar. Much thinner. What?
It sounds too crispy for me.
Okay. It's soggy. It's not as soggy as a poly, but not as crisp as a Mylar. Yeah.
I don't know. I get everything slabbed anyway, so it's in a poly.
Yeah, exactly.
Poly bags are like a way station for me. That's where the comic is before it goes on to slab heaven. So
never to be something.
But then you put your slabs in the polys, right?
Yeah, I put my slabs in poly so the slabs don't get scratched. Exactly.
Well, why don't you use the Mylars for that?
Because I'll tell you why. Because I can't stand the nails on a chalkboard sound of moving
they go
back and forth in the box, and it scrapes on the side, and the corners will bust off over time because they're so freaking rigid and sharp. Man, I don't need sharp, crispy plastic. I just need like
sharp objects away from DS Comics. We got that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons I don't like Mylar, but I mean, I throw all my Mylar out when I get a book that I buy and it comes in a Mylar. I throw the Mylar in the trash. So if anybody wants to work a deal on me to get free Mylars, I'll save them up. I'll let you know when I got a big enough stack, and I'll send them to you for shipping, and you can have them for free. Pay for the shipping, and you can have a bunch of new Mylars. Because I buy a lot of like higher end books from people that put them in brand new Mylars. So I got brand new Mylars. I just throw them out. I don't save that stuff because I don't use it. So anybody wants them, hit me up, and I'll save up a stack, and you can pay the shipping, and I'll give them to you.
Nice.
You could put some used beer cans in there.
I'll save my aluminum cans. I'll save the backing boards.
Recycling. We are going green here on Golden Guy.
I'll save all the shreds of blue tape that I throw. I'll save all that stuff. I throw it out. I don't keep everything, man. I just throw it out. I'm tired. I'm a minimalist.
Nice. What do you want to? Let's segue into something quick.
Can we do some books?
Yeah, let's do the October books. Can I put you on the big screen?
Yeah, all right.
All right.
So we will start, and I have to do it on my phone. Sorry. I didn't get the cutouts. Okay, I'll try to I'll adjust the brightness. And so here is October. So I'm going to do, there's 5 weeks in October. So we're going to do 4 years worth today. 38, 39, 40, 41. This is 38. Look at that. Barely any books came out.
1938?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is only, there was only, out of all these books, there was only, I wish the focus was a little better. Sorry. There was only 4. Actually, no, there was no superhero books covers at all.
Oh, I like Action Comics though.
Action.
Yeah, the guy who did that cover is awesome.
Is this? This is Leo O'Melia.
Oh yeah, Leo Amelia.
Yeah, Leo Amelia. He did the. He does. Wait till you look at his one on
He did
Adventure 34.
He did
2 books. He did 2 books that month. He did this one as well, Detective.
What number of Venture Comics?
21.
Oh, that's it's a detective.
He did 27. 27 is the one with the killer shark cover. I think that's a Leo Amelia.
Yeah. What number is that? Adventure
32. This is
a
Flesher though.
32.
Yeah. And there's another cool book.
So,
well, not cool. More fun. I mean, it's just boring. 37. No superheroes.
Not bad though. I mean, I do like that Action Comics with the girl. I do like Leo.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's classic gold.
I would take that one, I think.
I think that's good. Yeah.
And so that's, I mean, quickly we're gonna go to the next year. 39. This one's a lot better. There's let's see, 35 books came out in October 39.
Nice.
And superheroes were definitely.
Oh, there he is. That's the classic.
At that point, let me try to get a good
19.
Yeah. Yep.
Action 19. That's
when he started to always be on the cover. Why can't I? Sorry, I keep moving. Okay. Then.
The Sandman.
Sandman. Cool cover.
That's a great one.
There was a lot of superheroes.
Bullethead.
Not good. I don't know what the heck.
Reed, Bullethead. Oh, that's Zatanna's dad.
Yep. Oh, is it? Really?
No, Blackstone, really, but I don't know. It's the Mystics. He goes by Zatanna. I mean, Zatanna. You never know with this guy. You never know. I can't figure it out. It's Blackstone, whatever his name is. He's pretty cool music. I love that comic though. Who did that cover? That's what's his name?
I can look after. Then there was the Arrow was another. I believe that's the Arrow. The Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
Before Hawkeye. That's a nice Wonder World.
That's a good one there.
That's hard to find.
That's probably a fine cover there.
It is Lou Fine, right?
I can check that after. I just don't want to keep moving the phone. This is a really awesome cover.
Hard to find. Really hard to find, but
yeah, I like that one.
That's really hard to find.
Mystery Man. That's, I'm sure, Lou Fine.
That's Lou Fine. Well, I think that's his. That's beautiful. And that could be him too. Could that be him? Yeah.
These guys down on the bottom are crazy.
Oh boy. Fantastic right there. What year is this?
39.
39.
Whitman cover.
39. So
Wow. Could be Maurice.
the second Marvel book, timely book ever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some on the boards there was a argument about this, and there's, I don't know if you could see it, but so it's like they're bombing the Empire State Building, and there's these symbols on these bombers that look like kind of like wrenches, but the text story, which kind of relates to this cover on the inside, is about him fighting Nazis. So there's like this theory that maybe the wrenches were supposed to be the like Iron Cross or something, but no one was really buying it. So around that same time, so that had the Bill Everett did Submariner in there, but he was also doing.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That was a Submariner in there, right?
Yeah, same time. Yep. Schomburg did his first cover in 39.
That's like in Bondage covers. That's like one of the top ones.
It is awesome. It's like Bondage / sci-fi.
Yeah.
Really cool. Too bad the inside has nothing really notable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, DS. Isn't this one you have? Or
I don't have that one, but that's high on my list though for robot covers.
Wow. I've never seen that.
First robot cover?
No, that's not the first robot cover.
Okay.
The first robot cover is Smash 1, and then Smash 3. Smash 3 is the second robot cover, and then I think 4 or 5 is going to be after that. But then you get Fantastic Comics in 40. So there's a bunch of Smash before that. So that's a very early robot cover.
Yeah, this is 39. So, and then this one actually came out before that one. That's a pretty cool robot cover.
Yeah, that's awesome there. I mean, you never see that for sale.
Yeah. I don't know if I didn't even like really notice this before, but
who possibly could have done that?
Robot.
I don't know. I mean, the Centaurs has a lot of artists.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize their names when I look through Centaurs and see the artists. I don't even recognize a lot of their names.
Oh, yeah.
Now this is probably my favorite book of the month. You got it's the third.
You got the holster, right?
And it's the good thing about this book is it's his origin.
Oh, nice.
So until then, you don't know that he became Batman because his parents were gunned down in front of him and all this. So,
but that's a cool. hard book. There's the Batman using a gun or having.
I think it's the fourth Batman cover actually. So
yeah, but he's got the holster on and the gun on a cover. Yeah. They're hard to find. So there's people that collect Batman using a gun.
He used to be 31, but I think
it's explained as collect stuff.
So that's pre-Robin. Robin didn't show up yet.
Yep.
No Robin.
And then
Robin appears first is in Batman.
No, Detective 38.
Oh, 38. Yeah, 38.
Which one would you guys pick out of that year?
Well, I'd go with the Centaur robot cover for sure.
But
the Daring Mystery 1 is awesome too.
Daring is on there, and I was gonna say that I don't really see that much, but that Sandman cover, I've been eyeing that for my whole life, and I want that Sandman cover. I'm going Adventure Comics.
I'd take the Batman.
Well, you're saying which would we pick? Like we're there on that month at the newsstand, and we're looking.
If I was at the newsstand, I'd buy. If I was there, the one that would have attracted me to buy it based on cover alone would have been the Sandman.
Yeah, I would have went with the Centaur robot and that Daring Mystery 1. I would have went for.
Yeah,
which are the two I still would go for, honestly.
And the Centaur robot is
Superman, maybe the Batman, but I want to kind of not pick them.
Frank Thomas drew this amazing. And wasn't there one you were asking me about? The Wonder World is a Lou Fine. Oh yeah, that is Lou Fine. That's
I love that.
His covers are starting to grow on me. Good thing I don't have any money to spend.
Yeah, I've been trying to get. His Wonder World covers are are really good, and the prices are skyrocketing those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did that.
Who did that, Jumbo?
You're fine.
Lou Fine did that, Jumbo, right?
And this.
Right.
Lou Fine.
And who did the Jungle?
That's Lou Fine, that other one?
Yeah.
The Mystery Man?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he did the Fantastic. Wow, he did 4.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's definitely Lou Fine. And what about the
Oh my gosh.
The
5. He did 5.
that's him. That's the Lou Fine cover. Yep.
Wow.
Lou Fine Lion.
I think that Mystery Man is pretty weak, though, honestly.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
Look at
My
that.
personal opinion. I mean, as far as Lou Fine or a Golden Age overall, I think it's
The
pretty
girl. He does girls really well. And it's hard to see on this little screen, but take a look at it big, like
I've
heritage.
seen it for sale and I've looked at it. It's just, I don't know. That's one of his worst, if you can use that word associated with Lou Fine. You know what I mean? It's still pretty good, but for Lou Fine stuff.
It's like a Picasso, man. You know, it's a
Well,
Picasso.
he had a lot to do that month.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was busy in 39 and 40.
And is it true that he had polio or something and he was disabled?
I have no idea.
I've been reading. I feel like I read that somewhere, which was interesting. Anyway,
Nice.
1940, there was a way more comics.
Mm-hmm.
We're still not in the war. You might want to pick up this new *1.
Ooh.
Oh, nice pulpy cover there.
Look at that. Where's my buddy Tony Sanders when I need him right there?
I like that Kato. It's pretty awesome.
We're talking the first appearance of the Green Hornet. That is the first one, right?
It's #1. I don't know if it's.
I don't know. Actually, was he in something before that?
I don't know.
I don't
But
think
that Kato is awesome.
because that's perfect.
We got
A weird,
weird comics.
Yeah.
Superheroes fighting sailors or something. Speaking of weird covers, this is a weird.
Yeah, I like that one.
Schoenberg?
I don't think. No, it didn't note anybody. It didn't really.
There was one of those for sale a couple months ago on either Heritage or Comic Link.
Thing.
And this title became Black Terrors after a bit, after #9. Planet is going, #10
Look at that.
at this point.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The war, there was some war stuff, not too much. Some,
Thrilling. Yeah.
I believe that's a Schomburg.
That's true.
And he is actually fighting a Nazi, so that's pretty cool.
That looks like a Schomburg Punch Out.
Yeah. Schomburg Punch Out. Oh, that's a classic.
Schomburg is this one, yeah.
Check out Stubby's gun.
Timely's been fighting Nazis for a while now at this point.
Yeah.
But DC, on the other hand, would not put the swastika on. They would not ID the military that they would fight. The wusses.
And TJ says that's the first Green Hornet in comics.
Oh,
That's
awesome. Thank you, TJ. Great to have you here, by the way.
I do like this.
Oh, wow. That's a classic right
I
there.
used to have that one.
That's one of those cosplay things I wanted to do.
Oh, that guy. What is his name?
Dr. Fate.
Well, but the other guy. He's a
Oh.
cool character too. Can't remember his name. This is a classic Batman.
Yep. Let's be honest. That's Burt Ward and Adam West right there.
Yep. Yeah, in the cartoon, they run right at you. And that's so. What are you thinking? You pick on that one that year?
Uh,
Go through them again.
what would I have been attracted?
Amazing.
Probably, actually, the Green Hornet's pretty badass.
Yeah.
The Green Hornet probably would have been something because I would never have seen anything like that, and it's not a pulp. It's got a pulp look to it, but if it's in the
Really
comic
cool.
section, it says comics. I'm into it, so maybe I pick that up. Backup would have been probably that Batman, to be honest with you.
And that's Holyoke Publishing.
Yeah, Holyoke. I probably would pick that Exciting Comics and the Planet Comics.
Oh, the
And
show.
I think that Planet Comics is probably Lou Fine.
I think the planet is Lou Fine, by the way. I think that's one of the planet. Yeah.
And that Exciting might be like Max Plasted or something like that. He did a bunch of early ones before Schomburg got on the title. I don't know if that's him or not, but he did. I think
Schoenberg started to do the airbrushing right after that. That title.
Well, it's been he does a ton of Black Terror kind of war typical Schomburgs for like the war period, and then he does his Zila.
Yeah, Zila right after that. Yeah.
And then all right, here we go. The last. Now this one had so many books coming out that there's even more than this. And this is 1941 October.
Mm-hmm.
There's just comics were the thing.
TW, we talked about that Sandman before. That was my pick. Oh, that's
classic Mickey Mouse cover there.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Right there. That's real hard to find, by the way.
That would be pretty stunning in high grade, I'd have to say.
Yeah, for the Disney collectors, that's like the top 5.
Is it like a key issue or anything?
No, it's just hard to find, and at least I know that the guys I know that collect the Disney, most of them, because I met a bunch of them from a Don Rosa thing I did, and they came over and talked to them, and they reached out to me and like, oh, do you know this one, and I said, wow, I didn't know they really do exist, and I saw them on the boards. And
if that didn't have Mickey Mouse on it, I'd put it on my want list. I like the other part of the cover.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
There was a lot of war, even though we weren't in the war yet, because it wasn't until 2 months from now that we got attacked in Pearl Harbor. There was a lot of war comics going on. This is a new one, Captain Arrow #1. There was a lot of captains. They were really scraping the bottom of the bottle.
I like that one.
There's a captain. This is Captain. What is this? Captain
Battle.
They're giving out the rank. Captain Crunch.
Captain Battle. Yes, sorry.
Battle. Yeah.
So, Captain Arrow, Captain Battle, Captain Flag.
Oh yeah, nice blue ribbon there.
Catman. This was a new. I mean, these are all weren't there last year.
There.
Catman
had a real cool style on those Catmans before.
U.S. Jones. U.S. Jones is a new guy, I think. V-Man.
Democracy. Yeah. V-Man.
This is has a
British
comic. Is that a British comic? No.
No. But I believe it's MLJ or Fox. I'll take a look.
That's
But this shows something that's interesting, and there's a lot of this on the covers. The swastika is actually backwards.
Yeah,
and some people say it's because something in the printing, but other people say it just wasn't that widely known at that point that it had to go the right way or whatever. But I find that interesting.
TJ said that was the first Mickey in comics.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That'd be a big grail.
Yeah. I think there's a Donald Duck that everybody talks about. That.
Oh yeah, that big one. I love that Donald Duck one.
Yeah.
This is Steel Sterling Man of Steel.
Oh, okay.
Don't have steel.
It's the Man of Sterling stainless steel.
Some of those zips are freaking impossible to come across.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, and you never know what was in them.
I mean, there's a couple like zips that you'll see here and there, and there's some that I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
MLJ,
the Shield
Wizard. They were both
Captain America. He was real popular.
Finally, Superman is about to punch an actual Nazi.
If Superman punched a Nazi.
Well, it's funny. This was one of the first Golden Age books I got, and I showed it to a friend of mine, and the only thing he said was, well, that guy's not going to be feeling too good in about a couple seconds. But yeah, I mean, it is cool to see DC actually branding
there, buddy.
Nazis, even though it's before Pearl Harbor. So that's cool. I like that S style on his chest there.
Oh,
that's a great one.
That's one of my favorite right there.
Yeah, a lot of people say
that's like one of my favorite Submariners ever.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's more attributed to Bill Everett than Schomburg. Maybe Schomburg inked it like he did number 9.
I always thought that was Bill Everett, to be honest with you. Isn't it?
It's one of those like half and half things. I would guess maybe he inked it.
Well, we can't go wrong with it. It's
Great.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great guys, both of them. These are always nice covers. These Uncle Sam's.
Very
Yeah,
much.
the Nationals is usually either Lou Fine or Reed Crandall. That's probably a Reed Crandall, though.
Yeah. But really good craftsmanship on that.
Yeah, the Nationals are really well done artwork. I really like. There's only one that I really want is the one where Uncle Sam is fighting a skeleton
Doing this.
Nazi guy, like strangling the skeleton.
Yeah.
Gives
Oh,
a art feel to it, and it's a Reed Crandall cover. I like Reed Crandall stuff. And
It's all good.
Got
Weird.
Weird.
Yeah, that's good. There's again way too many colors in there.
Punching Hitler, though. That's pretty
That's a
cool.
good cover. That's probably hard to find. Anybody know? Where's our buddy Stray Flexion? We gotta ask him about that one.
This was just a weird one. The Neb.
The Neb.
Nice.
I've never seen it.
Nope.
Yeah, this would be probably pretty tough to find, I would say, or you'd find it and it'd be like cheap.
No, I don't think that would be that cheap.
Well, if they didn't know what it was, you know what I
The
mean?
racist sort of imagery on it would draw a bigger price than you might think.
Yeah. Well, in the right place. But sometimes you find weird books like this in like strange, like at an antique shop.
Antique shop.
Well, if I saw that, I would definitely pick it up.
Then this is a weird one too. I mean, this is a great battle issue. It's them fighting the whole for 60 pages. And
Okay.
I never liked that cover too much because it's just got these weird.
Yeah, they're like Munchkins or something.
I don't even think they appear in the issue. So last month, Aquaman and Green Arrow appeared in this for the first time, but apparently no one cared because they didn't even make the cover the next month. And
That's the classic, the Infinity cover.
Infinity cover, right? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, it's called an Infinity cover. Yeah, it's
Or
classic.
visual recursion.
Yep.
Batman's ignoring
Hey,
the
Chris
war.
Barrett, thank you very much.
This I love.
How good having you here.
I love this. This always looks like modern to me.
To me, it's very noir.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like out of the Batman cartoon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what publisher is that? It's like Canadian White or something almost.
Yeah, I'll check when
I like noir stuff.
Noir.
I mean, there's some noir books I do collect. Very hard to find ones.
About 5 years ago, this was a cheap book to you could buy this cheap. I don't know.
I mean, I'd be interested. That's kind of the noirish kind of thing. Think not so Dick Tracy, but like darker Dick Tracy.
Yeah, it is. It does have a Dick Tracy feel to it.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those weird shaped ones too, where it's really wide. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. War Comics #4. And I don't believe that the ones before and after this are anywhere near as cool of a cover.
Nice.
So next we have a couple really influential first appearances that did not appear on the cover.
Oh yeah.
So Wonder Woman is in the backup story in this one.
Yeah, that one's all right.
And then
A little bit. Oh yeah, Archie.
Archie. Yeah, I always say Pep 22 because he is. I'm always convinced. Like for years, I thought I was gonna find one of those things in the wild. Always, because that's where. I mean, do you remember? This goes back a ways where you heard you'd have to subscribe to Wizard or subscribe to one of the magazines, or I know TJ would remember that when like they started becoming a lot more valuable Archies, but then people started finding them in all these antique shops in like Iowa and Indiana and all over the Midwest, and Pep 22s became so popular. There's a national for you right there.
Reed Crandall.
So great.
Reed
How are you, man? Good seeing you.
Yeah, so that War Comics is Adele. So that explains the size and shape of it.
Who that was? We're doing right now books. What year is this? 1941.
41. It's a
41 before Pearl Harbor. We're going over
Wow.
some Golden Age books that came out this time back then, and we're pretending like we're on the rack and we have to pick one book off the rack. What are we going to pick up?
And I bet, yeah, you know, these two books would be.
Yeah, I mean, but would you have picked him up based on what you had? Probably the All-Star.
Well, I mean, this is a Nazi cover,
And
so
first
I need to pick
Archie.
that up.
And first Archie, you know.
But I wouldn't have picked it up for Archie. I mean, I wouldn't
Right, exactly. Well,
I
that's
think that cover is
and
badass.
that you're picking that up for Spectre and
Patriot. The Patriot.
No, I mean on the other one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got Spectre, Hawkman, and well, I can't see who's on the back. Bullet.
In the like snow globe.
Yeah.
How cool would it have been if she was in that snow globe?
Why
thing?
couldn't she be? I don't know. 'Cause it
I
really-
don't know. Well, you know, next month Sensation one comes out, so they really kind of
damn redhead. I love that.
that in there.
TJ said, I love that cover, but because of that damn redhead on the gingers, suck the life out of everything, man. Suck the life out of everything.
There's no info on the artist.
You're a ginger. Sorry. By the way, this is something here we're interested in. If anybody could find out the book War, what number is it?
War 4.
War
Citadel.
4. Let's try to find out.
War Comics number 4.
Let's find out as much as we can on the thing. It's very noirish, and you know, maybe we'll do a hunt. All of us will try to hunt and find one. Maybe we'll.
I would take the Archie one, maybe.
I'd probably pick up 22, but honestly, you know, I probably would have been out of collecting at 41 because I'm like, it's all war-related stuff, and I probably would have.
It'd have to be the Pep.
Although I do really love that cover.
Oh, the Submariner cover? Yeah, who am I kidding? I've always wanted. That's one I care more about than the. Honest to God, I'd rather have that than the Pep. Absolutely, I would rather have that.
Plain too.
Of the value of it. I mean, it's one of those things that. What would I do with the Archie? I'd sell the Archie to buy one.
Yeah.
I would take the Pep 22 over that in a heartbeat. I think there's no contest, honestly. But I mean, I'm not a war collector. I'm not a timely guy, and
I like
that.
Submariner. I like it when it's
Out there, or do anything
in half. He's ripping a plane down.
I don't know, DS. I thought you would be going for the Nebs.
I mean, I would buy that now, but back then it's just part of the racism that's going on, and it doesn't. It's not.
Their boat is even kind of.
Yeah, I mean, back then I wouldn't buy it because back then it's just, you know, it's this sort of a silly kid-oriented thing. I'd pass on all those. Now today, if I got any of those, I would instantly flip them. If I came across any of those now at a price that I could make a profit on, flip them instantly because none of those are keepers for my collection. But they're all sort of big books and coveted, so they're all big. I mean, the Pep 22 is killer.
Oh, there we
These
go.
would look good together. That would look good together.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's move on to the con preparation thing.
Oh.
If you still want to do that.
You want to continue up to 44? Go through the war, right?
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
We got
a little bit. Do you want to?
4 more weeks of October, so I had to drag it out.
Nice. So we have a couple of weeks before, a couple of shows before Baltimore. It's coming up. So a bunch of prepping. Yep, DS is going. I'm going. So we're prepping right now, and one of the things DS probably we're going to give a first part now, next part next week.
Show yourself.
What are we doing?
Change the camera maybe, and we can.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Center stage.
Let's go back to this one. No, not that one. This one. There we go. All right.
So prep for the con. I mean, my prep for a con. I'm not a big con guy. I don't go to too many, but I got, you know, for like material wise, I'm bringing a box of books to drop off on Friday for on-site grading.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably have 20 between 20 and 25 total books.
I'm getting my Swamp Thing 1 pressed and cleaned, and I
Nice.
might do on-site grading there for it.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because it's cheaper there than you think.
Well, it costs a little more. The grading fees are a little higher, but there's no shipping, and you get it back.
I'm not shipping. Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna bring like 20 to 25 books, and then I've got a backpack, and I'll bring some slabs, and
Yeah, I might bring a few. I sold a book today that I was gonna bring, but I got like $100 more than I thought I was gonna get. So I'm like, all right, I'll sell it now. You know.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna stop by the Comic Core booth there and see who's there and hang out. I mean, it's right down the road for me. I got a VIP package for all 3 days for early admission with all the hundreds of other people that are also going to be in that line. So I don't know that it's going to be that early of an admission, but yeah. So I'm going to go check out the Comic Core area and hang out with you there and meet some people, and then get some stuff graded. And I got some stuff I'm going to try to sell or trade. And then usually what I do is try to find like one big book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a hunter. I'm not a box digger. I'm not like I don't.
Oh, come on!
I do that after the big book hunting. Then I
find your
I
big.
walk around, look at wall books, and try to make a deal on a big book, and then I don't dig through boxes, man. It's not my thing.
Here, something I do that I've found super helpful is because I like to bring books, even if I'm not really hunting anything. I just like to bring the books that I might trade for.
I call it parting with.
Yeah. But what I like to do is find out the absolute, like, how much I could get like instantly for that book if I had to. That way I know the exact like number to do my, the bottom line when I do negotiations. That way, because a lot of these dealers, they get kind of tired, and I don't know, like you got to do the negotiation. I feel like as fast as you can, the better off you are. I don't know why.
Well, I feel like the best time to sell slabs to dealers is on Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they know there's no overhead or acquisition cost for that book, and they'll try to sell it so they don't have to bring it out with them, and it's like free money if you give them a little room on it. And depending on the book and the dealer, you can get a pretty good price on slabs from dealers. Cons if you bring it to. I brought some stuff to a dealer. I brought 5 slabs to a dealer at Heroes Con on Friday, right in the beginning. Worked out a really good deal. They're like, give me 15 minutes. So I'm setting up. Let me check out these books online. Let me figure out a price. And the price I asked and the price they started with, we were so close. We just cut it in half, and then we're like, yeah, done deal, a good deal. And then I had cash right then early on Friday to walk around with. And it was a fair price. I mean, it was what I would have gotten probably on eBay. Some would have gone higher, some would have gone lower. But, they know what it is, and they can put it on their wall right then on Friday. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to – if I have slabs, I'm going to drop off stuff at CGC for on-site. Yep. And then I'm going to go to a couple dealers with slabs I have to sell, see if I can get some cash in my pocket. And those are the first 2 things I'll do.
And sometimes you'll know your chances if, like, say you brought a Amazing Fantasy 15, and you saw like every dealer had like 1 or 2, but for some reason there was like 1 or 2, then you're gonna definitely get a good price for that, because they're gonna want that on their wall. They're gonna.
It's more popular. I get it.
Yeah, like so. If you see like a ton all over the place, that might be a bad time.
Well, usually the stuff I bring will be like Golden Age slabs that I'm not in love with anymore, but I want to get some decent value out of them. And if you have a decent GA book that's not common, and you can get it to a dealer in a slab on Friday, they can throw it on their wall. And if nothing else, it brings people over to their area. So
the right dealer. Let's be honest, the right dealer.
Yeah, the right dealer. I mean, you've got to go to a dealer who appreciates the value of the Golden Age stuff that I have, or whatever books you have. But I mean, I'm not going to go.
I do.
Go to a dealer with a Werewolf by Night 32, and then you can both look on GPA and go far enough under it that they can make a profit on it. But what big deal? I can do that on eBay or Comic Link or Instagram. I mean, but the GA stuff that's more rare and tough to find a value, if you can get them, they let them put it up on their wall on Friday, and it's they might have the only one. You know what I mean? They're the only one that has that.
And some dealers, if you become friends with them, they will, like I've done this with Terry's Comics. I'll go there with a book that maybe his offer to me was, not what I wanted, but I tell him like, hey, I just want this much. So you could take this and give me that money. Whatever else higher you make on it is yours. And often they'll do it, if you price it right for them. And then they'll just have it on their wall and they might sell it for you.
I've done that. I've done the consignment, so to speak. That's how I sold my FF1. Through a consignment. I mean, I got 4,500 out of it. I think the guy sold it for $6,000. I didn't have 4,000 in it, so I was okay with it. I had less than 2,000 in it.
Yeah, I mean, you're using them to help you speed it up. That's all. I mean,
yeah, and look, this is something I talked about in the video that I did yesterday. I did a sort of
video. Yeah, it was a live video. It was good.
It was live, but the first half is like, good enough if you wanted to watch a replay. It's just straight me talking about that topic, and the second half is like chat with who is there. But look, if you're selling, I think it's not a good idea to get wrapped up in GPA. If you're selling, you should consider what you have into the book and what profit you can get. Don't get wrapped up in GPA as a seller. If you have, $500 in a book and you can get 1,000 for it, good. I mean, if they're going to sell it for 1,500, good for them. But I mean, you can double your money and get that cash quick. Yeah, you try to get as much as possible, but don't be stubborn and be like, no, that book's selling for 15 straight up. I want $14.99. Like, you got 500 into the book, you can get 10 or 11 out of it. Good, that's a win, man. That's a double your money, and it's below GPA. It leaves room for the dealer. Quick deal, no time spent, cash in your pocket, profit. I mean, you can't go wrong. I don't get wrapped up on GPA as a seller. As a buyer, I do, because you can see what it's worth in the market, and it tells you where to negotiate for that book as a buyer. But as a seller, I go on profit for me. I don't go on GPA. GPA is a guide to know sort of where these are selling for. And if you price it over that, it won't sell. But if you price it under that, it'll go quick. So I adjust it down below GPA a good bit until it hits at the bottom of where I think is a good profit margin. And that's it. And it'll sell quick, and it's way below GPA. And so what? I mean, you make a profit. If you can make a profit on every single book, you'll be rich. You'll have every grail you want, and it has nothing to do with GPA. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and at cons, sometimes a book will have a con price. Like the dealers know what every other dealer has, and if there's like Amazing Fantasy, lowest grade, like it'll have its own price. Like they'll just want to have the cheapest one at their booth, but they're not too cheap. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I've had a lot of luck bringing keys there that, that are hot keys, like Werewolf by whatever, that kind of stuff that sells quick, because they love stuff that just sells quick.
Yeah. I just saw the 68. I love that's like my favorite runs of the Bronze Age that I don't collect as much anymore.
And they'll give you a Golden Age book, a great deal on a Golden Age book that is like not like super hot, but like worth a good amount, but it's slow to move. They'll take all your bronze first appearances and all that and give you a great deal for that, because they know they'll be gone by the weekend.
Very liquid. Yeah, I mean, Evan brings up a good point. He says the con price is usually a con job. I feel like superhero stuff, it's like you buying a hot dog at the ball game. It's going to cost more than a hot dog at the grocery store. But when it comes to the stuff I collect, it's the same group of people. It's not like the price.
We don't know each other.
Random off-brand Golden Age stuff is much higher at cons. It's competitive, and you can find Golden Age deals at cons cheaper than Comic Link, cheaper than eBay, cheaper than the boards or whatever. You can find deals on Golden Age at cons because, for one thing, it's tough to price. And for another thing, it's tough to sell because it might be a good book, but it's not liquid like a Hulk 181. Those fly off the shelf no matter how many are out there. They just fly. But some of this Golden Age stuff, you can get good money for it, but they're not quick sells, and you can get really competitive, good prices on some of the off-brand GA, like the dark GA, the stuff I collect at cons. I get good deals from dealers on Golden Age stuff at cons. But I think for superheroes, Silver Age, like an AF-15, if you're looking for a deal on an AF-15, probably not the place to get it.
Well, but you can. I found at the end of the last day, towards the end, you can get them to sell it to you below eBay. You know, like especially if they didn't do well at the con.
I've struck out. I'm like 0 for 20.
Like I'll take that, especially if you have cash. You know, they'll be like, all right, yeah, I made, and they'll be like you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be like, I made, $300 off that. No big deal. He got a deal, but I got I made whatever. Like,
I heard you can get better deals on Sunday because they're trying to move stuff at the last minute. But for me, I struck out the last couple cons I went to on Sundays. I haven't been able to get anything.
Oh, well, the good stuff's usually gone.
I mean, I'm trying to do deals on stuff that I've talked about.
Being there first thing.
Still there on Sunday, and I go back and I'm like, hey, can we finally make a deal on that? I see it's still here. Can we do this? And it's still like, for me, they haven't moved on Sunday. Maybe it's the books I'm picking or something.
I feel like the better deals on the common stuff.
Friday morning, I'm going to be digging. Before anybody's there at the con, I'm going to be digging.
That's when I get all the wall books.
Friday.
Try to get there before they pull everything up. Try to get there.
You will see me digging it all.
My goal is 1 or 2 of the 4 of the Golden Age, and there is 1 Silver Age book I'm looking for.
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing I've been doing at the cons I go to, which is not many, admittedly. I went to Baltimore last year. I went to Heroes Con this year. I went to a couple smaller ones, but they're rinky-dink around here.
I like them.
First thing I do is I'll sell my, after I drop off stuff CGC, try to sell some slabs, then I'll have some cash to work with. What I do is go over to Rick's booth and see what he's got. You know what I mean? Sure. He's always got killer. He's got the best stuff always. So that's the first place I stop.
How much have you bought any stuff from him at the con?
Who?
Rick, New Force Rick?
Yeah, New Force.
I go to, I buy something off him.
Because his prices are pretty, like those stickers, because I see a lot of pictures of his booths.
No, I mean, I think that, but you're looking at like the All-Star 8, the, Superman 1.
I know he would come down if I emailed him about it, but
I don't know. I bought a Brick Bradford off him. Brick Bradford 6.
Nice.
4.5. I bought that off him for like 30% below market value.
It's awesome.
I bought that Terrific 5 off him for, as low as you can get a Terrific 5 for at a 2.5. I mean, I think I got a bare bottom. I don't think I would have got that. That was the cheapest you're going to see that book.
Nice.
5. I got that from him. So I don't know. It depends what you ask. I mean, if you're trying to buy an ASM 1 off of him, I don't think it's going to be. But he sort of remembers what he has in a lot of these books. And if you pick a book that he doesn't have a lot in, he'll work with you and he'll come down. But some of these books he prices just above what he has in them, sort of, I think. And then he doesn't have a lot of room to move. So,
yeah, I would say if you've got an ASM 300, you're going to be able to move that there, but you're better not bringing that to a con because there's going to be 500 of them there.
Yeah.
Well, if you want $50 off or something.
I mean, I sold my Hulk 181 last year in Baltimore. And
get a good deal, or just sell it to a guy out in the street? Like I sold books out in the street,
dealer, and it was an 8.5, and I sold it for like 300 below GPA.
I had a guy argue with me about an X-Men book. It was slabbed and everything else, and it was an 8.0 white pages, number 4. Really nice book, right? People like that book. It's like a first appearance of people and everything. And I was trying to get some money for those other books, and I had that one and the Blob one, whatever one the Blob is. So I had that, both white pages, both 8.0s, and the dealer was giving me a low broom. The guy tapped me on the shoulder. He goes, Come here. He goes, I'll buy them off you right now. I
Yep.
says, right here. He's like, wait a minute. I said, no. He goes, no. Go outside. Let's go. Back then, you got to get stamps on our hand. There was no wristbands, or lanyards and shit. Not at this, it was a pretty big con, but they didn't do it back then. It was like a whatever. And then it was just fun. But that's exactly what happened. That's happened to me at cons. I've done that. I have done that at cons where someone hands a stack of books and the guy's like, well, I don't know if I really want anything in here. I'll be like, well, I do.
Exactly.
I'm interested in that. And they're like, well, I'm trying to work out a deal here. I said, no, you just said you weren't interested. Keep them both honest. That's the best thing you can do. And if you see something you like, get it. Woo!
And I like to show them my stuff sometimes, even if I don't. Well, I mean, usually I have Golden Age, so it's stuff that like you might not see at the con, but I like to show them even if maybe they don't have it in their booth, or maybe I know they won't give me a good offer, but their minds are like steel traps. So someone might ask for that book later and they'll see you walking around late. Like they'll remember you and they'll say, hey, you still got that book? Like, so it's good to show the stuff.
Oh, yeah. Especially
also if you show books that you have to sell, it helps to people know that you are legit, because there's a lot of what I call tire kickers, where people who are not really having the money or not intending to buy or whatever, like, let me see that book, let me see that book, let me see that book. And dealers don't want to be wasting their time with somebody's not going to buy anything. But if you show them books you have that have some value, whatever they are, they know that you are buying books like that. So if you ask to see a book, yeah, it's legit. You might literally buy it because you already proven you've bought stuff because you have stuff like that. And it gives you a little more credibility for them to work with you, because they don't want to spend time negotiating with somebody who's not going to buy anything. If you're just kicking tires and you're just looking at the cars on the lot and you're not going to buy anything, they're not going to cut deals with you or negotiate. They don't want to waste your time with you. But if you show you have stuff, even if they don't want to buy it, it shows that you are a serious buyer of whatever it is you have, at least.
Yep. One of the things is that a dealer told me, a little secret, he told me this before C2E2. What he does is that if somebody asks for an obscure book behind him, like he's got all his books up. Let's say he's got his Silver Ages and his Golden Ages up there, and you got a lot of the popular ones of each one, some All-Stars and Detectives and Actions, and then you got a rare one right there, right? If somebody could point out the rare one, can I see that without knowing, let's say, I'm just yelling out a book, The Journey into Fear #4. Can I see that Journey into Fear #4 in the back over there? Oftentimes, the dealer knows exactly where it is and what you're talking about. But 99% of the time, they do which one?
Yeah.
Just to get you to repeat it. Just so that they know, okay, you're serious about this now. They like those people versus the guy who says, can I have the one with the flame on? And can I have the one over there with the Captain America with Chris Evans on it? And, can I see that?
Yeah, I do a lot at like Ted's booth. I haven't bought much off him, but he has so many raws on the wall, and they're so overlapping where you can only see a little bit of the side.
Terry at Wonderworld's worse for that. Super
Some of them are very noticeable if you're into that stuff. Like you could tell that's an LD Cole, like Shocking Mystery 51, just from the corner of it there. And you can be like, let me see that Shocking Mystery. And then he turns around and it's a sea of yellow and red and blue and whatever. And it takes forever to find it because, like, it's cool when you can, you see a dealer and they have books overlapping and you can recognize certain ones that some other people may have missed, but you can see it because you know that book and you've been looking for it and you can tell just from a sliver of the color what it is.
Before I wanted to show a book that TJ wanted me to show. His my favorite book right there, and I was going to say this is a classic. Nice, go ahead, tell everybody about it.
I don't know if that's his first appearance or not, but Our Man, yeah, I mean he's pretty cool. I don't know much about him at all.
Nice, great character, but
I mean he seems like something out of the Watchmen.
Yeah, it's very cool. TJ says it's one of his favorite covers right there. I just wanted to show that from that era.
I was gonna say, don't I take your backpack off before you go back into their booth if they're like come back and
knock a whole thing of Chamber of Chills down. Whole thing. Yeah, at Minnesota.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was
Don't
rough.
be that guy. And don't
Freaking Iowans, guys from Iowa too. No offense, Paul, who didn't make the show.
don't grab a stack of books and then say, I'm pretty sure I want these. Can you hold on to these for a bit? They hate that because then they're losing sales. And I found the best if you're bringing
I'm not serious about pulling the trigger.
if you bring in books to trade, the best way to get the most mileage out of those trades is to like say he's going to offer you $1,000 in cash or trade or whatever. If you pick out something that's like $3,000 and you say, well, how about 1,500 cash and then these books, he'll do it. Like if you match your trade with cash or more,
I was going to say one of my favorite tricks to do is
books or something.
Yeah, I always say it's the rule of two. It's the Sith rule. It's you always need 2 books because you need the first book. You show him a book. Let's say I'm just going to grab a random book. The first one that he's interested in is a 9.6 newsstand. Whatever. This is a bad example because I just said don't bring this to a con. Let's just say, all right, 600. He says, all right, I'll give you 550 cash or whatever it is, 550 cash or 600 cash, whatever. There and another slab, whatever. This one here, another modern, rare variant, hard to find, extremely rare Thor. This goes for $350 on eBay. I'll give you this one. So this one combined, I'll give you $750 for both. Right? That's what he would do. I'd look at a book and say, okay, a $2,000 book, and says, how about 1,000 or 900 cash?
Yep.
And this book, but I'd start with just this one, offer the first one, and then I say, okay, what if I put this one on top, and then I could get the most money out of this, and then do the same on this one, and sometimes the percentage is higher for this.
And then you could be like, if he won't budge, then you'll be like, well, what if I buy this too?
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of ways, but the
thing is, the percentage you're gonna get a higher percentage on your bigger book. So if it's like you grab one that's like $1,000 and a $500 book, you got $1,500 in trade. Present the $1,000 first, let him, and then you could use that to get $1,500. Then the $500 you can use that to get $750. Now you're up to $2,250 instead of $2,000. It's just the theory I've always gone with.
I'll tell you, there's something else that happens though that for Golden Age stuff or rare books that I notice is, and this has happened to me a couple times, where you look at a book, you think it's a little too much, but you know it's a rare book and you want it, and they won't come down to where you want. So you're like, well, let me think about it. And by the time you go back, somebody else bought it.
Yep.
I try to do all my flipping and making money and profiting ahead of time. And then when I go there, I see a good book, I will try to work the best deal I can. And I might know, but I won't let them know that I plan on buying it anyway, even at ask if they don't budge. But I will do my best to get it as best I can, knowing that I'm going to take that book regardless. But they don't know that. But if sometimes you leave and go walk around and come back an hour later and it's gone. That happened to me. There was a National Comic 60, what I'm talking about. I looked at it, Rick's booth. I wanted to think about it. He didn't have a lot of room on it. And when I went back, it was gone.
There's a lot of
for Mr. Hudat, which is why I was looking for him, was Jumbo 69, which is the first recognized comic work of Matt Baker on the interior. And it's kind of like a unicorn in the Jumbo world. It's really the hard one to find. Not that the cover is anything. It's just one of those typical orange covers with an animal with just the jungle scene and everything else going on. But what makes it a Jack Kamen cover, what makes it a little hard is the Matt Baker part. And I asked the guy for it, and I asked him to hold it, and I was going to sit there, and I said, if I can get this for a good price, or I can contact Hudat if I can find one or something like that. Well, sure as shit, as soon as I went back around, I said, let me see it again because I want to see the grade. He's like, that thing's gone, man.
Yeah.
Somebody saw you hold that in your hand, and as soon as you put it back, the guy's like, I'll take that.
Yep. Well, I've noticed that other dealers will see.
There was another dealer who bought it.
And because they want the stuff that the other dealers have all the time, and
I always see
or whatever.
Rich.
and they see you looking kind of interested, then you walk away, boom, it's gone.
Terry from Bedrock City. I mean, Terry from Super World and Rich from Bedrock City. I think they're jealous of each other's books. They got great stuff, but Bedrock City's got the slabs down. They got slabs all over the place. But man, the collection that Super World has in those bins, I mean, those raws are just all over the place, you know.
Another thing, when
Again,
you do your legit thing, DS, like you're like, well, how about you interested in any of these? And then they see like, oh, okay, this guy, maybe he doesn't have cash, but he obviously did or whatever. But after you do that, they're more likely to show you stuff that they haven't priced yet or they just bought, because then they're like, oh, well, now that I've seen you actually.
yeah, a lot of these dealers.
Collection. That's one of my favorite lines I use. I just got this collection. It's not priced yet.
Yeah, the dealers that have Golden Age stuff, they will have stuff sort of like behind the counter that they just haven't priced. They're not in a hurry to price it. They like it, but they'll move it. But if you have similar stuff, they'll be like, oh, I have something you might like. And they'll pull it out, and there'll be something they bought in the collection last week or something they just didn't want to put on the wall because, of, you know, whatever reason. But, yeah, they'll pull something out from behind the counter. And that happens to me sometimes. I mean, it's happened at both the last 2 cons I went to, because mainly I'm into stuff that's sort of off the wall and rare, and it's not superhero. Like most of the stuff I want is a very small community of people that want it because it's just really overall not that popular. But people that are into it are really into it. So when they see that I'm really into it, they'll be like, "Hey, let me show you something." So,
I do get a lot of books. I mean, a lot of times I go to the same cons, and you know, I go to about 5 or 6 a year, and I see the same dealers sometimes around the Midwest. And which is good because I get to see some fresh ones. Well, I'm going to see some same ones I'm always seeing at Baltimore, I'm sure. And they'll be like, "Hey, man, I got elephants, I got jungles for you," you know. And that's what it's like crack. So let's be honest, you know.
And you could ask the dealers to bring certain books ahead of time sometimes, because some of them,
I do with Dale Roberts all the time. He's actually
just don't want to bring everything.
Yeah, Dale's like, if there's anything you see, like he had that Brick Bradford 6 DS that I was trying to get my buddy to get, and I'd say it came out to be about a 6.5. I don't know what yours got.
which one are you talking about?
A Brick Bradford 6.
Yeah, I got a 4.5. 4.5.
Yeah, this was about it ended up getting a 6.5. It was 300 raw, and Dale had it, and I told my guy to pull the trigger, and then Dale's like, he was like, I was on the road and it sold right away.
Yeah, I mean that's a hot book.
Well, it was. He said it sat there at the 300 price for 2 months, and then he looked at it and he says, "Look, I moved it from a VG minus to a VG plus because I think it's a VG plus." But he's notoriously a tough grader. You know, Dale notoriously tough grades. Like we had a super mystery. You know, it's all blue cover with the guy coming down like this. My friend got it, and he's like, I think it's about a fine minus. Guy got a 7.5 out of it.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, all right. You know, I mean, he pressed and cleaned it and everything else, and I know Dale does not do that much.
Yeah.
So,
well, that Brick 6 and a 6.5 is probably
$1,300.
that's probably $2,000 book by now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I mean,
that was $1,200 at an 8.
1,200.
There aren't that many of them. Yeah.
VGs are selling like 1,200.
They're good books, man. I mean, it's a fun book. So
yeah, the one I got mine from New Force from Rick, and he had it at, I think he had it at a VG minus or a VG, and it was pretty legit. I mean, it had wrinkles, it was dirty, and it needed some work, but it was a nice solid copy. And I got him down a little bit on it, and it was a very reasonable price. And I bought it, and I cleaned it up, and I pressed it, and I submitted it, and it came back a 4.5 with white pages. So I was really happy with that. So that's a really nice copy, and I got it for 30% below what they're going for now, and I got it a few months ago. So it's a hot.
I'll say this: one of those fine skills that I don't have. I've done it successfully. I've cracked open 4 and re-slabbed them. I cracked open my FF48. It went from an 8.0 to an 8.0, so it didn't move after pressing it clean because it didn't need it. It's got one little mark on it, or it would be way higher, but it's a damaging mark. And but it's an 8.0, so that's pretty good for an FF48. Another big one that I cracked open and redid was that ASM. That was a 9.2. Had press clean, got a 9.6 newsstand. That was good. And I did it with a Hulk 181. I bought a 3.5, got it upgraded to a 5.0, and that was the one that, if you ever saw, there was I think Hero Restoration had it on his webpage forever.
Okay.
That was my book. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
His pressing one was my book. He was like, because he was like, it was a 3. He's like, I'm like, that's a, and I told him, I said, I don't, but I've also been unsuccessful because I don't really, I look at some of my older slabs. I'm like, I know these things haven't been pressed because they were in my collection, and I never pressed and cleaned until literally, get ready, everybody, a year ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago. I considered it wrong forever, and it took a lot of people to convince me. TJ Watts was the main guy who said pressing is not a big deal. I'm like, fine. Now I'm addicted to do it. I'm actually thinking about doing it myself eventually. I mean, I have the time and the patience. The only problem I have is I have 2 kids, and they suck the life out of you. So,
yeah, I don't have kids yet, but
yeah.
I started doing it myself. It's really, look, to do anything at a very high level is difficult no matter what task you're undertaking. But pressing and cleaning, it's not hard to do it yourself at like an 80% improvement rate. Now, you will not be getting pro level 99% maximizing.
Oh, yeah, like Joey or
something that's got wrinkles and folds and creases and dirt. I mean, you can do that yourself. It doesn't take that long. It's not that hard, and you can get the grade bump. Now, you might get a bump from a 5 to a 6.5, and you might not get that 7, but you save a ton of time and money to do it yourself. And I don't know, I get good results. I'm not a pro, but I know I can see there's, slight things here and there that I need to work on, but I'm getting 85% improvement on these books. It's not 100%, but I mean, it's
there's a lot I have to, because I'm one of those that doesn't, I need to research the shit out of that and train myself to do it.
I got a training thing to show you guys, and then I got to cut out, but I love like just looking at my stuff, and maybe I could clean a thing here and there, not really to flip, but I just like learning about stuff and whatnot. But I got this thing. It's pretty cheap off of eBay, off of Amazon. It was like $35, and basically it's this guy, and it's like a this is wide
Contoy. I can walk away.
So check out this flash, right?
Right.
It's an old one. I'll put this over here by the staple or whatever. And then you can hook it right up to your phone, and you can get pretty good.
Oh shit.
Pretty nice. Like, I mean, I would want it. I think I want a little bit better quality maybe, but I mean, you could see the fibers in the paper. It's pretty nice. And that's you could record a video, you could take snapshots or whatever, and this works on your computer too. But it's amazing, like how easy it was to just hook it up to the iPhone.
Well,
$35,
Yeah, that's real good. If you take a picture on your camera on your phone, take a close-up picture of a 9.8 in a slab, just a close-up of any corner, and then go back into your phone and get the picture and zoom in as far as you can. Then you will see why books that are 9.8 are not 9.9, because it looks like that when you get close. Even a 9.8 to the eye, if you do something like that, it's completely tore up on the corners on 9.8.
Yeah. I have a macro lens.
This is fun, like with kids.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Strawberries and whatever,
Yeah.
I have a macro lens I use on my phone to do that, but I have the macro lens, and I have the app, a similar app like that I have to stand over, but it can only take a picture. It can't really record that well because macro doesn't record well.
But yeah,
a cool product. Yeah,
I think I might make a video about this. So
that'd be cool.
I just use my eyes, and I just sort of look at when I'm cleaning. Cleaning is, look, I think my cleaning skills far surpass my pressing skills at this point. I love cleaning books, and I just use my eyes to see. And you can look at a book pretty close, and you can start to see where the fibers are. But something like that would be killer for cleaning, because you'd be able to see.
Talk to me about that. I want to learn how to clean books more than pressing. I've seen people do it.
I use it for cleaning, actually, because when you try different erasers and whatnot, yeah, you know, you could take off gloss and whatnot, but you could really see what's going on with something like this. But I got to get going, guys.
We're going to be good.
You keep talking, I'll check that out later on. But yeah, well, you could see it takes off the color.
Well, a little bit of it will come off in some places, but this will get your books like 75% of the cleaning you can do with this. You got to be lighter on some of the colored parts, but you can still use it. But I also have Mr. Clean erasers that I cut into cubes.
I did those. Will live my whole house.
Yeah, good. You know, any of this stuff, if you use it too hard, will take off gloss and color. But if you use it, you vary the pressure and vary the instrument that you're using, and it will get almost everything off. This is absorbing pads. This is a cotton swab. And believe it or not, I use this to scrape particulates off of books, and this thing's razor sharp. Probably not a good idea, but it works.
No, probably not.
But I mean, it works great. You know?
Yeah.
So, and I've got some other stuff. You know, there's like, you know, you try different things, and you figure out what, you know, you're just basically scraping stuff off of paper. What type of materials on the paper determines what type of thing you have to use to scrape it off. What type of pressure.
You do more on the
whatever.
Obviously, you do the cover. Do you have a clean and interior?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes under the cover, there's on that splash page, sort of, there's crap on there, but usually the interiors are pretty solid. I have not cleaned interiors too much, but on occasion I clean the splash page.
Just clean them, blast clean them, whatever they call that, or
the what?
Some places dry clean the interiors as well.
I mean, I'll look through the interior, and if there's something massive, I will. But the interior on books is, you know, more fragile than the covers too.
Right. So that's why the pros do that one. Yeah.
So I don't mess with the interior too much. But sometimes somebody will, like, let's say if there's like some type of goop or like mud is splashed on the bottom of the cover. When you open it up, some of that got onto the splash page, so I'll clean that off. But pretty much the interiors most of the time are all right. But like I said, I'm not trying to get 100% max efficiency on this. I'm just trying to save time and money and do it myself and get 80 to 85% efficiency and bump grades and increase value. I mean, I'm not getting 100% efficiency, but I'm getting 85% efficiency, and you know, it's not costing me anything. I don't have to pay anybody to do it, and I don't have to wait on turnaround times. Like Hero, Mike does a good job out there, but the turnaround times it's months, and I'm not trying to. I can clean a book and press it in a couple hours. I'm done, and it's gone from a 4 to a 5. Now maybe I don't get the 5.5, whatever, but I didn't have to pay extra either.
Exactly. Well, that's Tuesday, everybody. We're gonna call it here. Cheesecake's gone. Coffee's got cold. So see you all later. Thank you for being a friend. Next week we'll talk more about some con stuff, some con preparation, and we might have a guest. We don't know. We never do.
All right, my battery's dying. I'm gonna head out too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll see you later. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.